So the other day, I woke up in the morning feeling really down. I was starting to feel like a loser, that my whole life was just going to waste. And mainly was from all the people around me telling me, "Oh wait, you still haven't finished uni? Why are you so behind in life? Why does your hair look like that? This." It's mainly from family. But in their defense, I'm naturally a bit of a neurotic person. Like in my throughout my life, my whole value was sort of aligned with how I study. That's how the other people condition my mind to think, right? So when I wasn't really good at it, when I didn't get the best grades like I was expected to, I sort of became like really vulnerable to the feelings of insecurity. And I think a lot of Muslim men can relate to this, even if they probably won't admit it, because when our family sort of gives us this expectation in alignment with one thing, like it's good to have high expectations from family, like that you have to be successful in overall in life. But when they tell you you must be successful in studying only and everything else doesn't matter, you're going to feel like a loser every time you get a bad grade. Like if you're good at it, you're going to get like an overinflated ego, which is a separate problem. After wrestling with these thoughts for a while in my mind, I decided to put my phone down. Something just clicked in my head. I was like, why am I thinking this? These thoughts are so stupid, bro. They don't make any sense. Put my phone down, go into a empty room, and I just did 2 rakats of prayer. As soon as I did that, like my mind was really focused on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I was starting to think, why am I listening to all these people? What they're saying has nothing to do with the truth. Like going to uni is not something that's compulsory in Islam. There are some things that are compulsory, like praying and staying righteous. And most of these people that were telling me that weren't even following these things. And we all know that Islam is the only truth in the world, right? So if we believe that, naturally, is it not the case that everything else is probably BS? Everything else is just a fragment of imagination and stemming from insecurity of other people. Like the reason they were telling me that I was a loser wasn't because it was like an objective fact of the universe. It was simply the fact that they went to uni at my age and they were comparing me to their standard. And that's what Salah is supposed to do for you. It aligns your perception with the reality, like truth, pure reality. It just aligns those two things. Because if you are thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who created you, and He knows everything that goes on inside you, He knows exactly what talents you have, what purpose you have. That's going to remind you of what you actually should be doing. I am very in alignment with what I feel like my mission is in life. My purpose is to help young Muslim men thrive in this new world we live in. Get rid of all these traditions that don't work anymore and help them succeed in every area of their life. And that sort of thing will help me in both deen and dunya. And it will also pay dividends even after I die. Like people who are still following my advice after I die, and maybe they take up praying more, or maybe I end up saving their divorce just from the advice I gave them. That's still going to be helping me even after I die. Whereas if you go to uni, what does that actually give you except for a degree, right? That's just one example. There's a lot of things that can apply this to, but I'm just giving you like the most obvious one. Personally, I've fallen into these traps many, many times just because everyone around you is constantly trying to cloud your mind with their own perceptions. And this is not even mentioning all the BS ads you see, everything you read on your phone, like when you're going through Instagram. All those things are out to get you. This is the world we live in now. It's a world of overconsumption. So if you just stick to your prayer 5 times a day, maybe even more, that's the only thing that's going to keep you grounded in who you're supposed to be. Now, in the past, I remember there was a time where I was about to fall into Zenda. Like there was this girl at my work, like it was a long time ago, maybe 4 or 3 years ago. And we were both really into each other. Like she was really into me. I really liked, like she was very attractive and everything. And I kept having these temptations towards her. I wanted to hang out with her. And even she was telling me to come over and hang out with her sometime, right? So it was a very difficult thing to overcome. I remember at that point, I went to the masjid and I prayed 2 rakats as always. And I remember at that point, I decided to pray tahajjud. And I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after tahajjud to remove all these thoughts from my mind about her. Because I was literally thinking about her 24/7, bro. It was like really bad. Like I was like overconsumed by her. And that sort of comes with being a neurotic person. But anyway, after I prayed, after month and month and month of not being able to get her out of my mind, I forgot about her instantly. I literally can't emphasize this enough. Those thoughts just cleared my mind and they just blew off like a candle. And this is one of the miracles that I've experienced in my life, which made me really believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and like our deen and everything. Obviously being a Muslim, I always believed that, but it really solidified my faith. This is probably the biggest life hack that many Muslims aren't utilizing. If you are a Muslim and you don't really pray, or maybe you do pray, but you don't really get the same effect from it, I encourage you to change up your thoughts next time you are praying. I want you to think that you're standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and He created everything, every single period you had throughout your life, all the difficulties, all the good things, they were all from Him. So when you're praying, you are accepting that and you are aligning with the reality that they all happen for a reason. And also your main goal in life is to improve your deen and help the ummah as much as you can. And everything else is BS. Don't listen to anything else. I know a lot of brothers who have a lot of temptations towards zina just because of all the jealousy. And like, that's such a stupid thing if you think about it, right? So why do we think about all these things? It's because of all these things around us. And in case you haven't prayed today, I encourage you right after you finish watching this video, go and do the prayer right now. Just do this one thing. If there's anything you're going to get from these 10 minutes you spend on this video, let it be to go and pray right now. And if you've already prayed, on your next prayer, I want you to put this thought into your mind of how you're standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And accept all the things that's ever happened to you because it was all from Him. Subscribe to my channel if you got any value from this video. And watch out for the next few videos.